The clock is almost out for MSNBC. Thrown out of Comcast, thrown out of NBC, it will now be MS Now, starting, well, the transition begins this October. That's right, folks, we are a month away from MSNBC tossed to the curb. And guess what, folks? That's not all. We are now learning that the Rachel Maddow network will be severed from the parent company. Not at the beginning of next year like we thought, but within weeks. Get ready. We've got the story. We'll share it with you. Let's go. And it is a beautiful day, folks. An attitude of gratitude every time you decide to come our way here on the Pro Channel, where our job continues to be explaining entertainment and keeping you ahead of the culture curve. As we dive in today, we only ask that you do a Jen Psaki and circle back to the like button. Click it. And folks, drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. How long will MS Now, yes, that's the new name for MSNBC, how long will it survive without its parent company to subsidize its terrible ratings? Let's dive in. Another video of excellence right now. The time has arrived. MSNBC is being taken out, severed, cut away, pruned, if you will, to the tune of this October. NBC News, Comcast Universal has had enough of MSNBC and will force them to become MS Now. That transition begins October 6th. This out of adweek.com says MSNBC begins separation from NBC News starting October 6th. The network will be fully independent from NBC News starting October 20th, and never shall the two come in twain again. Mark Machiro has this one. MSNBC's dependence on NBC News gathering resources will begin to wind down starting October 6th. Scott Matthews, the network's SVP of news gathering, shared the information with staffers in an internal note obtained by TV Newser. The note highlights key dates as the networks work to separate itself from the NBC Universal News Group, joining Versant and taking the name MS Now, which stands for My Source for News, Opinion, and the World. Beginning Monday, October 6th, MSNBC will no longer be relying on NBC News correspondents or crews for domestic or international coverage. The only exception to this will be DC-based coverage. That stops October 19th. On Monday, October 20th, MSNBC will be fully independent and using its own resources for news coverage. It and CNBC staffers will also no longer join and or participate in NBC News editorial calls and meetings. It's done. It is over. Variety reports that MSNBC, CNBC, and Comcast's linear network portfolio will officially become Versant beginning January 1st of next year. So MS Now will come into branding in November. So we assume November 1st. They will have to switch over to MS Now. You'll see that visibly, but changes are happening behind the scenes. MSNBC has undergone several changes since the announcement of its separation, including the departure of former network head Rashida Jones, the appointment of current president Rebecca Cutler, and a new programming lineup that has impacted both weekday and weekend schedules. And as you all know, Jen Psaki has circled back to suckage. MS Now has been dropping in ratings, dropping, up until the national tragedy. And of course, all news rises when there's bad news, and that was plenty bad. Let's go to culture on this one. Culture, MSNBC and CNN will no longer be under their corporations. They're done with them. There is this very strange thing going on with CNN where if Warner Brothers is purchased, suddenly CNN could be brought back into the fold as part of the total purchase. But for all intents and purposes that we're weighing in on now, these are two cable news channels that nobody wants to touch. They're off on their own now. They're no more subsidizing them. What do you think is going to happen? And how do you think audiences will receive MS Now?
Well, you said that nobody wants to touch. Nobody wants to watch them either. But what I think about PMS Now is it's going to be the same network with the same talent. One of the things they really needed to do there when they were building their newsroom is get some news people and get rid of these talking heads that have no credibility. And they didn't do that. So you can become Versant or become lacking in being Versant. It doesn't seem to matter. And why is it that name wants me to put like either jelly or some butter on a roll for some reason?
Oh, you want it's croissant, not Versant.
Yeah, but look, I mean, this person right here costs $20-something million a year.
And she's on air one day a week.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, she's basically hosing them as they go into their grave. I mean, it's just amazing.
No. Yeah, well, I mean, she's padding the dirt for the casket to lie on, but I'm going to say that CNN's in a better position, and I know that's weird for me to say, but much better position despite all the money they're dumping into Versant. I think Comcast is looking at outcasting these people with glee, and they don't mind shoveling some money at something they know is on the way out. Whereas I think CNN could survive, especially if the folks that just acquired Paramount are the ones that end up with the people from CNN. I think that's an upside. Paramount and Warner Brothers makes sense. Versant and anybody else doesn't. I can't imagine another group, studio, or anybody that would want them. And so this is just going to die a very slow death. This is a controlled demolition, and we're going to watch it. I mean, I say that the real timer, despite the fact that this has been going down now for so long, I think the real timer on this is the day that Versant goes live. I think we're gonna be able to see just how quickly the decay, the rot, and everything else that it's starting with is going to take its toll. Anyway, those are my thoughts. By the way, this little redhead girl, nobody believes her.
The little redheaded girl. Okay, we're going to take that now. Kara, he's not talking about you. He's not talking about you. It's a Charlie Brown reference.
Our little redheaded girl's great.
She's right not there. Ours. She's Ripiverse. She's over there. She's great.
She is the voice.
Oh, the voice.
Yeah, you are the voice.
What the heck? I'm just sitting here, dude.
I didn't take a shot. I like our little redheaded girl. We don't want the other one. I was talking about the Penske lady.
Hey, Beard of Justice, will you behave today, please? Just for one day. Just for one day.
Oh, fine. Okay.
Hey,
fine.
Jonas, what do you make of the idea that they're going to separate the businesses out behind the scenes? It feels to me like they're rushing. I don't know. Maybe you'll have a different take on this, but the name doesn't change until, I guess, November, if I read that correctly. And they're not actually owned by the other company, Versant, until next year. Yet Comcast is already stripping them of all the resources and saying, we're done with you. Get out of here.
Yeah,
get out of here.
Amazing thing. And, prayers with them on having MS now. That's a horrible diagnosis.
Yes.
And that's all I can think about when I think about these people. And
we would wish it on no person.
I think it's an asset that can only be converted into something more useful. The broadcast license can be used towards something people would watch on a more regular basis, even though Joy Reid compared it to comfort watching, like Sesame Street for a particular kind of person. YouTube can probably serve that function on a more regular basis. This is the kind of thing where I don't know what work they're doing that is worth preserving, and any individual piece of it can be picked up by another channel here. It is of no value to Comcast as a corporation. And there are so many large corporations that are media companies that are getting rid of channels, other than the one we often go after the most, Disney, which, they're going to be late to the game on whether or not that's a good decision. I think they'd rather have power and something that they can pull a headline from rather than anything else. I think that much of the media landscape does not care about purchasing something like MSNBC, and anyone who who thinks they're going to make money using that brand is sorely mistaken. And MS Now will be starting from scratch. So I don't know. This is a worthless asset. They probably should just delete the whole thing. But as long as they've got that that broadcast license, they can pull the Family Channel. They can pull an ABC Family, ABC Signature, whatever in the mess they ended up calling that. Oh, it's Freeform now. I forgot. I don't know if this is going to be a news channel in 10 years. That's all I'm saying.
So I actually think that this has the MTV future ahead of it, right? MTV is supposed to be music television. It's not. It hasn't been in a decade or more. MS Now is supposed to be news. It's not. It hasn't been in, well, maybe since its existence. But here's the deal. I think that just like they put extremely low budget, low level quasi-entertainment on MTV these days. I think that's the future for MS Now. They're going to have to strip this thing down to extremely cheap stuff, throw people out there you've never heard of, put on some pre-programming, some black and white movies or whatever about news journalism. I don't care. They're going to have to do something that is affordable because they don't have an audience anymore. And now that they don't have the connections with NBC, I don't think people understand just how significant that is, like what it means to them. They're this little itsy bitsy cable channel now with their own little newsroom. I'm sorry. That's nothing like having a full-blown network news channel and the resources to help you. It's going to be a big difference. Big difference. Any final thoughts, panelists, on this one?
Look, I mean, you have to look at MSNBC, and from Comcast's perspective, you have to see if it's additive or something that is a little bit of a liability. And I think that was the calculation made. Not only was the 24-hour news stations losing ground and losing interest from the audience, especially throughout the last week, MSNBC had become a liability. And so it's like, okay, let's go ahead and get rid of them. October 6th, it looks like it's going to be the date, and I think Comcast would be better for it.
Now, I do want to congratulate MS Now. I want to congratulate Rachel Maddow. I want to congratulate Jen Psaki. And you say, why, Pro? Why? With the bad news here, why is it that you would give them a congratulations? And I mean it. I'm not being facetious. And the reason is because MS Now, MSNBC, largely is seen as one of the worst places that you go to get your news. Like on the totem pole, they're at the bottom. They might be subterranean. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, I can now confirm that they have managed to leapfrog. And who did they jump ahead of this past week? What scurrilous news organization might be actually lower than MSNBC and MS Now? Well, of course, TMZ. Well, folks, we've come to the end of another video of pure excellence and fun. Explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve. That's what we hope you believe we've just done. And why should you believe it? Well, because we've done our very best to make it so. To be true, to be factual, and to do what the mainstream, so-called access journalists simply won't. Folks, you can help share this out across the fruited plains of YouTube by clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, as we get ready to say sayonara for now, we ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep having fun.
Jump into the water.
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro Channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun.
So I give them cannonball. Yeah!
Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.